Good morning. It's your friend Carol. I'm going to talk to you this morning about something that's rather deep and uncomfortable, possibly, and that is the subject of reclaiming your joy after someone has violated you, harmed you, and I'll just leave it at that. Violated and harmed you. How awful does that feel? I want to acknowledge that it's just unfathomable. Did I say that right? Unfathomable for someone to hurt another person. If we are all indeed connected, which is what I believe, we're hurting ourselves when we hurt and abuse other people. So, no bueno. There's no place for that kind of thing in our life. If heaven indeed is within us and we are calling heaven down to earth, then it's an atrocity for someone to hurt you, abuse you, whether it's verbal or otherwise. Having said all that, I'm going to take myself back in time and tell you a story of a time in my life when something pretty horrific happened to me. And I felt like I was the victim and didn't deserve the treatment I received, and how I was able to come out of it many years later. So the scenario is I was married, and the person I was married to had a habit of going outside of our marriage. It happened during our engagement. I still married him. It happened 3 months after we were married, and it continued to happen. And I'll skip over all the stories and take you to the climax. And that is, I knew that I knew the marriage was over. He had told me, quite frankly, and this is seven years into our marriage this happened. He told me he was just done. He wanted out. And what I didn't know is that he had met somebody online and had traveled to Florida for what he told me was a business trip, which was actually him meeting up with the person he was having an emotional affair with online. I had to turn around because somebody's doing their leaf blower very loudly. So I'm turning around so I can talk to you in peace. So here we are, terrible marriage. It's coming to an end. And I kept holding on to hope, like by a thread. I just kept thinking, and I kept praying, God, please help this situation become peaceful. Help me out of the situation. And I prayed a lot, but still it continued to happen, the cheating. Well, one day he was gone all day long on his motorcycle, and he came home and he didn't have his wedding band on. He walked in the door, and that's the first thing I noticed. I looked down and his ring was not on his hand. And I said, what in the heck? You're not wearing your ring. And he got really flustered. See, I didn't know this, but he was already in the process of cleaning out all the bank accounts and making a plan to move to Florida. So I was just really angry, upset, crying, pretty hysterical. And he wanted to smooth things over because, like I said, he was still in the process of getting all his, all the financials together to move out. So he made an excuse that, my hand was itching, so I put the ring on the dashboard of my car. I'm sure it's in my car, which doesn't make sense right now because he was on his motorcycle. So the details are fuzzy. But anyway, he made excuses for where the ring was, why he didn't have the ring on. And I just knew. I mean, come on, you know when you know. And he had said, well, okay, I'll tell you the truth. He finally decided to change his story and said, the truth is I was at this motorcycle event, and there were a bunch of Hooters girls there. And I didn't want to look like I was married, so I put the ring in my pocket. I mean, if you're going to lie about something, please don't involve the Hooters girls. I mean, really? Anyway, well, that just got me even more angry. One thing led to another. Our marriage ended. He moved out, cleaned out every bank account we had, including the retirement account. So, as you can imagine, I was angry for years. And I very much, rightfully so, felt like the victim in the situation. And it really ate at me. My hatred, my anger, my feeling like this shouldn't have happened to me. I'm a good person. How dare somebody treat me like this? It ate at me for years. And I would be like maybe in a church service or maybe in meditation, and I always ask God, please take this hatred and this anger from my heart. And years have gone by, and I'm still praying this prayer. Please take my anger, righteous anger. I was rightfully angry, but I knew that the anger was festering inside of me. So, long story short, after many years of praying, God, please heal me. Please heal this anger and this hurt. Please make me brand new inside. Please take away all these angry, hurtful feelings. Well, one day I was sitting in meditation. This is kind of the whole point of the story, meditation. I'm offering up meditation as a solution if you are living with the same thing I was going through. And during meditation one day, I'm just sitting there in meditation, where you let the thoughts drift off like a cloud. And all of a sudden, this cartoon image is placed inside of my head. Like I could see a cartoon image. And this cartoon image was a Harley Davidson motorcycle with my former husband standing in front of it, surrounded by Hooters girls with little tiny tops on and little tiny shorts and big smiles. And he was smiling. And I can't explain this, but it struck me as hilarious that once something that was incredibly hurtful, it ate me up inside. How all of a sudden, because of a cartoon image put inside my head while I was meditating, it completely erased all of the hatred I had towards the situation, towards this person, and it melted. I guess God, the universe, whatever you want to call her or him, has a sense of humor, because for some reason that's what it took to dissolve what I was holding in my heart that was really hurting my heart. So I don't know what form your healing is going to show up as, but sitting in meditation and just being silent often can lead to a healing. And my healing came through a cartoon image in my head that just cracks me up even right now when I'm thinking about it. It's just so silly. This image of this motorcycle, this man, and the Hooters girls. So I hope I gave you a good laugh, and I hope that I brought you some joy, and I hope that if you're dealing with anything that's extremely painful and hurtful, and you're dealing with unforgiveness, that you give it, first of all, give it to God. You don't have to call God God. You can call God the universe, the creator, whatever words you have. You could call it higher power. This is not a religious show. You can call the Great Spirit. But whatever, give this problem over and say, I don't want to hold on to this anymore. I need you to take it from me. And be prepared for an answer. And I'm sorry, the answer may not come overnight. It may take years like mine did. But anyway, it was worth it, because guess what? The anger and the hatred and the hurt and the victimization that I felt is no longer there. I prayed it, gave it away, and now I feel 1,000 pounds lighter because of it. No more hatred towards that person and the situation. That's my story. Hope you have a joyous, joy-filled day.